my name is Ralph and welcome back to the channel. It's my time, let's go. Today I'm going to see what I can do with these cylinders. I've got some other projects on the go that I've got to deal with, but this morning I'm going to try something a little bit different. Now I've sprayed the cylinders down that were stuck with Seafoam Deep Creep, which is generally a pretty good lubricant to loosen up rusted bolts and things like that. But after sitting for the weekend, we still have a bunch of it in here, and I don't see where any of it has seeped down by, and my cylinders are still stuck here. So what we're going to try to do today is soak that up. I'm going to take some of this vinegar. I've seen people say that it works good with rusted parts, but I've never tried it. So we're going to pour it down with vinegar. We're going to let it sit, and we'll see what happens. Before we do, I'm going to set this down, bolt it down, one cylinder, and see if I can give it a tap and even loosen it up at all. All right, let's get at it. So, let's see if we can get these back down. Here we go. And I'm going to try and bolt this one down. I can find a couple of my nuts there. So I'm just going to snug these bolts up on the back cylinder, so as not to have it move around on me. Go get the other ones. There we go. Snug these up. All right. Just put a rag up there so it doesn't splash around on me. I'm just going to give it a little tap here, upwards, and see if I can break this one piston loose. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but before I put the vinegar to it, I'm going to give it a try. Now we've been soaking for 3 days in here on this, so you would think that it would loosen it up, but let's see what happens. So, I'm going to soak up all the old stuff that's in there, because it just doesn't seem to have allowed it to break loose. At this point, I'm ready to try just about anything. I do have an idea how I'm going to get it apart, but how that will work, I don't know. No, definitely not going to loosen that up. A lot of sludge in there. Let's see what happens. We'll let it sit overnight and see what's happened. I'm hoping that it'll loosen it up, but we'll see. And while I'm at it, I've got this head here that's quite rusty. The other one's not quite so bad as this one, but this one's quite rusty. Place gonna smell like vinegar now. And we'll just let that sit. I'll probably leave it for today and overnight. Like I say, I got a few other things to work on. I'll just set that aside and we'll see what happens. And I can actually see it starting to bubble and work down in here. So something's happening. So it appears to be starting to eat some stuff in there, although we are draining out, so periodically I guess I'll have to come back and keep filling it up. She's bleeding by somewhere. A valve, no doubt. So we'll just let it sit, and hopefully it'll break some of this rust loose, and maybe I can get a cylinder loose and get it off. Don't see anything happening in there yet, but this one was obviously starting to bubble, so we'll stick with it. So to start with, we'll have a look at the head here and see what it's done. Now I can see from looking down in here that some of it seems to have worked. And I can scrape the rust off very easily, so we're going to soak the last of it out and see what we got. Now I don't expect it to be too pretty, but I'm curious to see if it's removed the rust as stated. And as you can see, it looks better than what it did. The rust has come right off. So it looks better than what it did, that's for sure. And it has taken a lot of the rust out. Well, we won't know how bad things are until we really get it apart. But so far, something has helped a bit. So it seems like it's done its job on that. So since it's cleaned it out, we'll take this out. I think what we're gonna do next is my lifter blocks have a lot of rust down in them. Kind of hard to see in there, but you can see where they're rusty at the top. And they seem to be all right down through the bottom. So we're gonna throw those in. And I'm gonna throw my lifters in. I kind of wire brushed one here, but we'll throw it in there. Should be enough to put it in there and submerge those. We'll lay those all down in there, and I'm going to let them sit for a day or two, submerged, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm always open to new things and trying new different ways to do things, and this does seem to have get inside a lot of the rust off, so we'll see about the lifter blocks there before I put a hone in them and see if I can loosen that rust off first and see what I got to work with in there. Okay. So I'm going to start by trying to soak up the vinegar that's in there. And the sides of the cylinders do seem to be a little cleaner. I'm going to soak up what I can, because if it does move, then I don't want to put any more liquid in the motor, as I'll have to carry it over and empty it all out. So my rear cylinder is still bolted down here. I put my big socket on here. Oh. She don't seem to want to move that way. Let's put a couple nuts on there. Trying to pick that cylinder up. I don't know whether I moved the piston in it or whether I'm just moving that cylinder, which is what it was doing before. This way I can see if it actually moves it or not. No. No. He doesn't look like it's gonna move, so I'll get this nut loose. Definitely not going to move that. It was worth a try, and I can't say that the rust didn't work, but they're just seized in there so badly that there's no way it's coming off. So I've kind of exhausted all my resources for now. I think the next thing I got to do is take it apart, pull it out, see if I can split the cases, get a connecting rod off, and then try to press the piston down through. It's about the only option. So we'll get at it and start to get the motor removed and take it from there. Okay. Now, let's see if we get the regulator off. Regulator sitting up on there, not grounded, and up on a block. Yeah, I got a brake line here that is holding me up. Pretty sure that's junk as well. Might be able to rebuild it. I don't think I'm going to use it. Here's an OEM piece that you don't see very often. Can't get enough leverage where I'm at. All right. Sir. Well, so now we're going to go ahead and pull the tranny out. Quite want to come out, but it should clear it there. Today I feel like I'm down at Hippie's, home of the sketchy choppers. Well, Hip, we're stripping her down. Be sure and check out Hippie's site, Hippie's Chopper Corner. Hippie's always got something on the go there, and he's always working with stuff and changing this and changing that. And I feel like that today. So, true to form, we're getting things stripped down. Here we go. So there, the tranny's out, and I have no doubt that it will need a complete rebuild. So we will be doing that as we go along, and make sure everything's right and proper on Margaret. But today, a lot of it's stripped down. I got a lot of things out. I got a few other small things I'm going to take off. And I'm going to leave her on her wheels because I got to move some things around, and it's the only way to handle that until such time as I'm ready to strip the wheels off it and then send it out to be powder coated, blasted and powder coated. Okay, so I'm working on cutting a few other things off it now, and I'm looking at the wiring now. So even though the wire has all been put inside little casings and stuff like that to protect it, there's only one thing I can suggest for this. Being as how they were all stuck in the water, and when you look at them close, see if a little light will help here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but some of these gears along the top here, they're all pretty cruddy in there. They're not nice and smooth like they should be. You see, I wire brush this one off, and you can see it right on the face of this gear. How it's all crunchy and marked out. Same with the oil pump drive gear. It's the same way. And this one is corroded down around here. And it is hard to see. Well, that one cleaned up not too bad, but there we go, some of them in there. It's hard to show you on video, but all of these gears now, and the breather gear, which this also had an earlier breather gear with a little tiny tit in it, is I believe pre-77 with the tiny tit. I'm not sure. Maybe someone could sound in on that. I can't seem to find any information. The larger titted ones, which are the standard size, I believe are 77 or 78 and up. So, but I can't seem to find anything on this except one sort of soft mention about the end of it. And this is what I'm talking about, is the two different sized gears. One is smaller than the other, as you can see, and that's about all I can get that designates all the years. The cams and the have a groove around them, and some of the S&S later ones have a groove around them, but I can't find any earlier ones that have a groove around them. So, but I believe this is the 77 and up. So that's what we're going to use. I got a new one, or another one to use instead of this one here. Okay. I figured these were 74s with the fins in between in here. Most times the 80s are all the fins are shaved off them. These were the ones that were rusted up really bad inside, and you can see that the vinegar actually did remove quite a lot of it. All right, let's give her a little tap. There we go, breaking some of the washers loose. Keep coming. go. And the rock art pads look okay in there, and everything's moving nice and freely. So we'll just shim those. Make sure we got the right shims on them. She's pretty in there. The guides look good on that one. She's definitely 74 hits, 74 guides in it. So it was just the cylinders that had me sort of stumped there for a minute because of the triangles on them. Yeah. Just all sort of powder. I think we're going to be okay. We'll definitely have to do some glass beading and stuff to clean them up, but that doesn't look so bad. Okay. Looks like this one must have been oversized, and she looks deep. It's got a lot thicker valve guide in it, as you can see, compared to the front one. That one looks almost like an 80-inch guide, but it's too long inside to be an 80-inch guide. Oh, I see all kinds of stuff. Okay. I guess what I thought was weld wasn't weld, but it's like sludge. See on that rear one? So, let's get the back one apart. I couldn't see somebody welding those. And I think it's from the fire. Some sort of sludge or aluminum debris. There it is, it's coming off, thankfully. Loose there, those washers loose. that one. Always one. There, all right. Melted. Melted. Almost. Here we go. Oh, pads look good in that one too. So we just got to do some spacing, and that is all. She got hot, the aluminum melted there. Not off of this, but dripped down onto it. Probably, I don't know. Could be the air breather. Nice new guide in it. But he's stuck. Stuck. There we go. Yeah, that one's no good. And the seat looks okay in there. Certainly looks repairable. There we go. Well, I've seen worse than that in regular heads. And the seat doesn't look too bad in there. So I think that these are going to be easily redone and repaired. And I feel pretty good about it. The things that I worried about are not so bad. That one there, I'm sure we can reseat that. Probably put new valves in them. Not sure about what happened with that guide. But we're about to ball hole through them and stuff and see what it is. Could have just been crud in there. Nothing serious. So, there we go. A lot of melted metal stuff all through it. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark those, although probably gonna put new valves in them and such, so I don't think it's gonna make a whole lot of difference. So, all in all, I'm a pretty happy camper today. Everything wasn't worse than I thought, and some of it was actually better than what I thought. So now we can move along in the long process of trying to rebuild each and every piece and deciding what we're going to do. I'm thinking about powder coating the top black rocker boxes because they look awful nice like that, and they have rocker boxes, and we'll just blast the heads. We'll glass bead those and give them a nice natural finish, and then you've got the black cylinder block, and it just makes a nice contrast as it goes through. So we'll clean up, take inventory of what we need and what we don't have and what we have, and start on the process of bringing her back. Okay. Guess I don't have to say today, but Hippie's Chopper Corner. Be sure to check out my brother Hip down there, and at Hippie's Chopper Corner, he's got the home of the sketchy choppers, and he's got a lot of interesting stuff on the go all the time. Also check out my brother Slick. Slickhead's Custom Cycles down there. Slick's on the move all the time. He's got some beautiful bikes. He's taking us with him wherever he goes, and I'm sure you'll enjoy his content. Also check out my buddy Gus down in the city there. Gus is getting there with his channel. He's moving on up, and he's keeping at it, so be sure and subscribe to him and give him some likes and comments. We're all working together, and we're all good friends, and it just makes for a lot of laughs, and we have a good time for sure. So support me, support these guys, and we'll all be happy. All right.